But so too is Miami, seeking a return to national prominence. Today, one dream will be broken, and one agonizing moment may linger if history repeats.
Has all the time in the world. End zone. Touchdown, Florida State. It is 26-25. 9 for 2. McManus on the take. Keeps, looks, throws, end zone. It is intercepted and knocked away by McDowell, and Miami has held him. 35-yard field goal to win it. Good snap. Here's the kick. It is up. It is no good.
Florida State trails 19-16. The snap is back. The kick is on the way. It is no good. Wide to the right. The game is over.
Bobby Bowden won a national championship in the Orange Bowl 3 years ago, but he's not done. In Warwick Dunn, the Seminoles have a slashing back who many believe is the most dangerous runner in the nation. And he's not the only one focused on a national title. The defense has terrorized quarterbacks and given rise to the Seminoles' search for number one. Miami has been smoking with 11 straight wins under Coach Butch Davis. He's got quarterback U up and running again with Ryan Clement, who's bringing a little bravado back to the Miami attack. And the Hurricanes have the #1 ranked defense in the country that has shut down and shut out its last two opponents as Miami is back making a statement. It's Florida State facing Miami next on CBS. Welcome to an overcast October Saturday in South Florida. There's still enough sunshine, however, for some to head to South Beach, while over at the port, others are about to embark on a week-long Caribbean cruise. Others are headed back to shore just in time for kickoff because there's something special brewing in this tropical breeze. It's Florida State and Miami next. The Florida State Seminoles ranked 3rd in the country, 4-0 with wins over Duke, North Carolina State, North Carolina, and Clemson. They come into the Miami game for the 7th straight year undefeated. Miami has beaten them, however, 4 of the last 6 years. The Hurricanes own the nation's longest win streak, 11 in a row, dating back to last year's loss to Florida State. And there's Butch Davis leading the Canes to the Orange Bowl field. They have beaten the Seminoles at the Orange Bowl 5 straight times. A pulsating scene we have for you today. Miami and Florida State. And hi, everybody. Jim Nantz. Glad to have you with us here on CBS. Put this game in perspective. The winner of the Miami-Florida State game, 5 of the last 13 years, has gone on to win the national championship. My partner is Terry Donahue, the last man to beat Miami 2 straight times. Last year, UCLA beat Miami in the opener. Butch Davis' first game as the Hurricane coach, but Butch Davis is really doing some job. How about the new man for Miami?
Well, Butch Davis is an emerging star in college coaching. He was an assistant here at Miami with Jimmy Johnson. They won the national championship, went with Johnson to the Cowboys. They won 2 world championships. Now this is his Miami team. He's put his stamp on it with defense and discipline. His defense has not allowed a point in 13 quarters, but he's not played a ranked team, not like Florida State is today.
No, in fact, Miami has outscored the opponent this year 160-13. The quarterback is Ryan Clement for Miami. How about Ryan?
Well, Ryan Clement's first start last year was against Florida State. It was a disaster. He threw for under 100 yards. However, since then, he's 11-0 as a starter, and he raised a few eyebrows up in Tallahassee this week. He said at Miami, we don't think we can beat Florida State. We know we can beat them.
Yeah, that'll raise a few eyebrows, all right. Thad Busby, though, will get the start for Florida State, his 5th career start for the Seminoles, but the first start against Miami, and that's a rather perilous stat because not in the last 10 years has a Florida State quarterback getting his first start against Miami walked away with a win. We're talking about the likes of Danny Kanell, Danny McManus, and Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward. How about Busby?
Well, Thad Busby has got to play well here today. He started off very slowly this season, almost got benched, got his job back last week against Clemson, threw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is the key to the Seminoles this afternoon.
So there's been a lot of lip during the week, and some of it coming from the Miami quarterback. And for more on that story, let's bring in Michelle Tafoya, who will be on the sidelines today.
All right, Jim. Well, as you said, Miami quarterback Ryan Clement loves to play here at the Orange Bowl. In fact, he said this is where Joe Namath guaranteed that Super Bowl win. So as Terry mentioned, Clement basically guaranteed a Miami win today. Here's the exact quote Terry was talking about. He said, beating Florida State is not something we're going to hope to do. It's something we're going to do. Well, I asked Florida State running back Warrick Dunn about that quote. He said, you know, so much talking surrounds this game. I really don't listen anymore. Turns out in pregame warmups today, he got some yelling right at him. Warrick Dunn is going to be done in. And as advertised, Warrick Dunn ignored it and just jogged on by, Jim.
Well, Warrick Dunn really proved something last year against Miami, Michelle. He ran for 184 yards as Florida State was triumphant in Tallahassee, 41-17. The weather could be a factor here at the Orange Bowl. Temperature around 80 degrees. Cloudy skies and maybe some passing showers, but the winds gusting at times to 28-mile-an-hour winds. Florida State won the toss and elected to defer. Miami will have the football first, playing into the wind.
When you have a defense like Florida State, Jim, you should defer, particularly with the weather conditions.
The kick flies 3 yards deep, and it'll be run out by Benton. Magic Benton to the 20. Ryan Clement with some impressive numbers at the start of the season. 9 touchdown passes versus only 1 interception, and that's his main target right there, Magic Benton. He's caught 25 passes for almost 400 yards. Clement, a junior from Denver, Colorado. First down from the 20. And a mix-up by Miami, and Ferguson fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Danielle Ferguson last year became only the 2nd runner in Miami history to have a 1,000-yard season. Carlo Joseph is his fullback. Benton and Jermaine Chambers, who has terrific hands. Chris Jones, the tight end. And the line with Blaze and Mercier. K.C. Jones, an all-league center, with Wayner and Jay Ina.
Every one of those offensive linemen played last year. They're too deep. Might be Miami's strength this year on offense.
Nick Williams has come in as the fullback, number 30, on 2nd and 10. Clement got a little one-on-one action and overthrows an open man, Yatil Green. Oh, he had at least a step on the defender, and open field ahead.
What's going to happen today is there's going to be press coverage on defense. Both defensive teams are going to get up there and press. That's exactly what Florida State did. Yatil Green beat the press. Ball was just overthrown by Clement.
Yatil Green has missed 3 of the first 4 games. He was suspended for 2 and then was out with a hamstring, but one of their top players here at Miami. Tyrell McMillan in as a running back on 3rd and 10. Florida State with 22 sacks, looking for another, and Clement just gets it away. He is drilled back at the 5-yard line by Greg Spires.
One of the things that happens to you when you're a quarterback and you've made a lot of pregame statements, those defensive guys on that other team get cranked up and they want to come after you. And right here, Ryan Clement is getting the heat from Greg Spires and Andre Wadsworth. Right there, Wadsworth puts a hit on him. What a hit.
The punt with a favorable Miami bounce, and down at the 33-yard line. The kick by Andy Crossland covering 47 yards. Brett Busby under the microscope. He had 5 interceptions in the first 3 games, but some performance against Clemson. Over 300 yards in the 4 touchdown passes. He's a junior from Pace, Florida, becoming the 4th straight Florida State quarterback to win the job as a junior. Had he not performed against Clemson last week to the coach's satisfaction, they were ready to pull him for Dan Kindra, a redshirt freshman. Knowles from the 33, and Busby lofts the ball over the arms of Melvin Pearsall, the tight end, who only has 2 receptions on the season. Florida State going with a wind at its back here in the first quarter. Warrick Dunn, the All-America running back. Khalid Abdullah is his fullback. Green and Cooper both over 1,000 yards receiving last year. Cooper was the MVP here at the Orange Bowl in the win against Notre Dame. And there's the offensive line. 2nd down and 10 from the shotgun. Dunn for about 5, maybe 6. The Miami defense allowed Florida State 495 yards last year, but boy, have they improved in the last year. Holmes wanting to have a big day to prove that their defensive ends can match up with Florida State's. The linebacking core, all seniors at Miami. They returned 10 starters from last year. Little, Scott, Wimberly, and Starks in the secondary. We'll call it 3rd and 5 for Florida State. Busby almost intercepted. He had the blitz coming on from Coley, Tony Coley, and he just had to unload it.
Tony Coley, number 47, is going to come right from the right side of the screen here. He's unblocked. The quarterback needs to unload that ball. That's a hot read for the quarterback. Miami blitzed and gave up a zone that time, left the zone open, but Florida State was unable to take advantage of it.
Sean Liss had a punt block last year by Miami, and it was returned for a touchdown, but he is an excellent punter. Their punter for the 4th straight year. And the fair catch made by Starks. Miami will start its 2nd series again at the 20. Florida State, Miami, each 3 and out. The Miami Hurricanes 4-0 with wins over Memphis, the Citadel, Rutgers, and Pitt. 2nd possession from the 20. Ferguson with a hole. For about 7, Shevin Smith got him in the secondary. There is a flag on the field. Florida State's defense has allowed only 3 points in the first half this year in 4 games.
Those may be the 2 best defensive ends in the country right there.
That's Wilson and Boulware. Crawford, Bush, the leader of the defense, Crockett. And the secondary was Saunders, Smith, Jackson, and Roll, and they rotate a lot of men in that secondary.
They play about 14 guys back there because they want those secondary guys fresh to play on special teams. They're great special teams play.
No wonder Ferguson had such a gap to run through, holding against the Hurricanes. Butch Davis sees his offensive line anchored by center Casey Jones, a 4th-year starter. It'll be 1st and 19. The officiating crew, by the way, from the ACC, the opposing team, or the away team, gets to bring the officiating crew from their own conference. Clement, had to be careful there. Ferguson to the 14.
When you play in a big game like this, sometimes you're a little bit nervous. Clement right there, Ryan Clement got stepped on by one of the offensive linemen pulling out. The center, Casey Jones, stepped back and stepped on Clement's foot, caused him to fall and almost pitched that ball incorrectly.
Florida State has allowed the opponent to only rush for an average carry of 1.1 yards an attempt. On 2nd and 16, Clement overthrowing and getting picked off. Nowhere close to a Hurricane. Green was the intended target. Blockers in front. And that's Troy Saunders with the interception. Running it back to the 20. There is a flag on the field. A 24-yard return and throwing into a stiff breeze, looking for Yatil Green. He wasn't even close. Personal foul against Florida State.
In the pregame warm-up, Ryan Clement was not on target with the ball. There's a wind on the field. His ball was getting both high and away from him. That's exactly what happened on this intended pass. He just threw it way over the receiver's head, and Troy Saunders, number 4, comes up with the interception right here.
And the personal foul penalty, Terry, was after the pick, so it'll be Florida State football, and they'll back him up to about the 36.
And Yatil Green was open on the play. Just the ball wasn't even close to being on the target.
As you'll recall, the second play of the game, Green was open.
Overthrew him on that one.
Injured Hurricane. One of the offensive linemen will take a timeout.
Richard Mercier right there, number 62, is going to have a heck of a collision with Darrell Bush, number 44 from Florida State. Right there, there's the collision. Darrell Bush is the leader of that Florida State defense. He knocked the 2 starting quarterbacks out of the spring game. They had to go with the 3rd string for his own guys. That guy's a roughneck on that Florida State defense.
Mercier still getting some treatment, but appears to be okay. Walked away under his own power. Florida State takes over from from Miami's 35. Warrick Dunn in the backfield. Coles has come in. They're looking for Coles. And one-on-one coverage provided back there by Earl Little. That's Lavernius Coles they sent out as a receiver. He's usually in the backfield. He's a freshman tailback, but Coles was matched up one-on-one with Earl Little. And he was overthrown. Florida State quickly now back to the line. Busby has misfired on his first 3 attempts. Running play, Dunn shaking a tackle and gaining only 2 yards. Marcus Wimberly matched up with him, so it'll be 3rd and 8.
Warrick Dunn is the key to the Florida State running game. Miami has come into the game determined to make sure that he doesn't beat him on the ground or as a receiver.
Dunn, a dangerous receiver. 3rd and 8 for Florida State from the Miami 33. Busby, man's open. Has the first down. That's Abdullah. Let's get an injury update from that Mercier-Bush incident from Michelle Tafoya. Michelle?
All right, Jim. Well, Miami training staff's exact words were Richard Mercier had his bell rung. It turns out he probably has a slight concussion. They're going to keep him under evaluation and determine a little bit later whether or not he can return, Jim.
Okay, and Florida State has sent word, Michelle, that Bush broke his nose on that hit.
What a collision.
But will return. First down, Seminoles, 21-yard line. Busby out of the pocket. Somehow gets away the first time, but not this time. Bumped out at the 31. Bumped out by James Burgess. Lang had him also for a moment. It's a loss of about 9. Denard Lang, one of the defensive ends at Miami, along with Kenny Holmes. They've heard all the talk about Florida State's exceptional 2 defensive ends, and they really want something to surface here today, and that's the fact that they can stay in their league.
They want to prove they're better than the Florida State defensive ends.
2nd and long. Busby going long. Little's down there on the coverage with Cooper. Excellent coverage provided. Cooper, who caught 3 touchdowns on this field January the 1st in a win against Notre Dame. He was the intended receiver for Busby.
The throwing conditions on the field are tough on the quarterback right now. The wind is swirling. Neither quarterback has really gotten good rhythm and good speed on the ball.
So now third and long for Busby. 3rd and 18, we'll call it. Wayne Messam has come in as a third receiver. Miami showing blitz, but they back off. Busby up the middle, incomplete. Looking for Green, and Wimberly had the coverage. That'll bring out Scott Bentley, the senior kicker. There he is, who won the national championship on this field for Florida State 3 years ago with a field goal.
Great defensive play there by Marcus Wimberly, number 24, against E.G. Green.
They got a new snapper at Florida State. Clay Ingram will snap it back to Travis Chambers. 48-yard try, Bentley. Good. Inside right. That has a better ring for the folks from Tallahassee. So Bentley drills it downwind from 48 yards. He's now made 7 out of 8 in his career at the Orange Bowl. And that is his career-long kick.
And the team that has scored first in this series has won 9 out of the last 10 games. So if you believe in that, Florida State's well on its way.
Scott Bentley, so scrutinized since he signed with Florida State, was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Everyone thought he would be the answer to Florida State that had been beat a couple of times with the wide right kicks by Miami that went on to cost him national championship chances. But now a senior, and you talked about how Darrell Bush had knocked out the 2 quarterbacks in the spring game. Scott Bentley had to play quarterback for Florida State. Did quite well in the spring game.
Well, there's Darrell Bush right there after that collision with Mercier. And Darrell Bush will be back in this football game. I would predict he is as tough a guy as there is at Florida State. You know, Scott Bentley has great respect from the teammates that he shares at Florida State. He's one of the captains. Unusual for a kicker to be elected one of the captains for the season. They elect their permanent captains after the year, but he's one of the temporary captains.
Bentley's kick this time even deeper, and Benton will not bring it out. Miami with 11 straight wins, 4 national championships dating back to 1983. But with 11 straight wins, that's the longest in the nation right now. Wyoming is second.
How about Army down there with 7? College football has changed so dramatically with scholarships and things like that. 15 years ago, you wouldn't see the Army in that position.
I'll say one thing about Miami's win streak, and take nothing away from Butch Davis, but his team has beaten only one ranked opponent in that entire stretch, and that was Syracuse when it was 22nd. Ferguson for 6. Butch Davis has never lost on this field in his second season. His first game as the Miami head coach was out of the Rose Bowl, and a Terry Donahue-led Bruin team of UCLA chopped them 31-8.
We played awfully well at UCLA that night, but I really respect the job that Butch Davis has done here at Miami. He's taken an approach of tough discipline with the players, and he's also coached the traditional Miami defense along with that explosive throwing game. Been very impressive.
On 2nd and 4, Ferguson dropped for a good loss. Cannell Spain got to him, as did Demetro Stevens.
It's hard to block Florida State's front people one-on-one. They're just too dominant. Cannell Spain loops inside, comes right around on Ferguson, makes a heck of a hit on him. It's a big, good-looking defensive lineman right there.
Well, Clement's been a little shaky at the start. 3rd and 7 he faces. Play action. Clement firing. Good pass this time. Complete to Jermaine Chambers. First down. A gain of 15.
The defensive back, number 2, Samari Rolle, fell down on the play. Jermaine Chambers ran down the field, turned to the outside here, and number 2, Samari Rolle, just slipped on the turf, allowing him to be wide open.
Nothing Florida State first quarter. Seminoles not allowed a point this year in the first quarter. And Miami's Danielle Ferguson, only the second back in school history to have 2,000 yards rushing in his career. Could eventually overtake, but would need some huge numbers the rest of the season. Could overtake Otis Anderson as the school's all-time runner. So far, those 6 carries, 8 yards against this stiff Florida State defense.
He's a very fluid running back. Got excellent vision. A lot of people here liken him to Thurman Thomas. That's who they try to compare him with.
2nd down and 9. Clement with a quick fake. Over to Green into Florida State territory at the 48. That's a first down for Miami. Yatil Green, junior, who has caught a pass in every game he's ever played in for Miami.
And Yatil Green is the most physical of the Miami wide receivers at 6'2", 205 pounds. And right there, it's just a little quick throw by the quarterback, gets the ball out to him in a hurry.
That was not
Magic Benton wanted the ball too.
Yeah, that was not a tomahawk chop. That was a first down for Miami, says Benton. Tony Gator in as a receiver. Ferguson slicing, fumbling. Football picked up. Florida State running it back with Chevin Smith. Smith, touchdown, Seminoles. Chevin Smith, a kid from right here in Miami. In fact, a walk-on from the city of Miami, picking up the fumble and racing 54 yards for the touchdown.
Miami has laid the ball on the ground this year. Although they haven't lost a lot of fumbles, they have fumbled the ball this year. Right there, the ball is knocked loose. Danielle Ferguson drops it. Chevin Smith picks it up. A Miami player, like you said, do you think he'll be bragging around here tomorrow?
10-0. Seminoles halfway through the first quarter. Miami with 2 mistakes, an interception that led to a field goal and a fumble return for a touchdown. Florida State 10-0 as Miami was putting together a little drive, but Ferguson fumbled and Florida State ran it back for the touchdown. 10-0. Crawford made the big hit. Vernon Crawford been fighting the flu all week.
Both coaches entering today's game talked about big plays. They must have said it 50 times if they said it once. We've got to make big plays. We can't give up big plays. Exactly what's happened thus far in the first quarter.
And once again, Bentley will not allow Miami to return the kick 2 out of 3 times in this opening quarter.
Vernon Crawford, the Sam linebacker for Florida State, comes in from the side and hits Danielle Ferguson. Ferguson never really sees him. Right there, knocking the ball loose, enabling Chevin Smith to pick it up and run for the touchdown. Sometimes running backs, if they see it coming, they can squeeze that ball a little tighter, put it away. In that case, Ferguson never ever saw it coming.
Crawford looking for another big hit. Ferguson remains in the backfield. Here he is. Holding on for 7. Hit by Sean Key. There is a flag down. Florida State's defense, again, they were 4-0 at this juncture last year. But, you know, last year, every team that the Seminoles faced managed to score in at least double figures, which is a little surprising. This year, they've held the opponents down 3 of the 4 into single digits, including a shutout over North Carolina.
During the run, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, Florida State's been winning with their defense this year, and Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, says that they're playing much more man coverage, which is allowing more blitzing, more pressure, and consequently being able to turn their front people, who many feel is the best defensive front in college football. He's able to turn them loose more this year. Mistakes are haunting Miami early. They were called for a holding penalty, so replay the down, 1st and 13. Clement to Benton, out of bounds at the 28. Magic Benton, who signed originally with Florida State, and he was taunted a bit by the fans up in Tallahassee last year, reminding him that he should have been a Seminole. He signed a letter of intent with Miami, didn't qualify academically, and then changed his mind. He signed with Florida State, changed his mind, and went to Miami. He's a real weapon for Miami, maybe the most explosive player on the field for them. 2nd and 3, and Ferguson for the first down. Dexter Jackson hit him first. Danielle Ferguson. Danielle Ferguson has excellent vision. Vision means a running back runs to where the hole is, not to where the coaches designed the play. That's exactly what he was able to do there. The play was really outside of where he ran the ball, but there was a crack in the defense, and he took it, picked up the first down. First and 10 from the 31. Fake to Ferguson. Looking for Green. What a catch at the 34 of Florida State. Samari Roll was on the coverage. 35-yard connection. Yatil Green is a physical receiver. Ryan Clement underthrew this ball. It's a touchdown if he just throws it a little further, but he underthrew it. Yatil Green goes up, uses great athleticism to pull it down, and actually Samari Roll should have had a face mask penalty here. He grabs him by the face mask right there and pulls him down. Throwing into the wind that at times is approaching 30-mile-an-hour gusts. But Green did have him by a step. Ferguson for a yard. 6 minutes to go, first quarter. Butch Davis wants to be balanced today. He stressed over and over that he wanted to be able to run the ball as well as throw it, and he wanted to decide when he wanted to do that. And that's a big theme in Miami's game plan today, is not to just come out throwing, but establish the running game. Nick Williams is the fullback in the eye. 2nd and 10. Never a chance. And the sack by Renard Wilson gives him the school record, surpassing Ron Simmons. That's the 26th sack of his Florida State career. Renard Wilson, the man they call Big Country, comes from the right side of the screen right here against Jay Ina. He just overwhelms him. So Renard Wilson breaks the school sack mark with that loss of 10. And he sends Miami into a 3rd and 20 tailspin. Andrell Fulcher in as a tight end. Clement looking for Gator, and he overthrew him this time. Little Tony Gator, who last week got the first start of his career. He's a 5th-year senior. He got the start against Pitt and responded with 4 catches, 3 of them going for touchdowns. Real speedster. Couldn't catch up with that pass, however, and Miami will have to punt. Andy Crossland handles both the punting and placement chores. Miami has a chance to keep it in play, and let's see.
Where are they going to spot it? Ball was touched just outside the goal line, and they'll down it inside of the 1.
Good job.
Nate Brooks was down there, number 2.
He's the headhunter for Miami on the special teams. Does not look like they have control of that ball. Hard to tell. Now they're moving it back out.
Yep.
I think that's the proper call. I did not think that should have been downed on the 1-yard line.
So another official comes in, and an overrule will bring it out to the 20.
That's a good thing about having 7 officials on the field. When one makes a mistake, someone else is able to go in and correct him and help him fix it.
Ball was actually kicked into the end zone and never had control of it.
Never had control of that ball.
Florida State with a 10-point lead in the first quarter. Trying to win at the Orange Bowl for the first time since 1984 against Miami. And Dunn looking to throw. Incomplete. Looking for Wayne Messam.
Warrick Dunn was a high school quarterback. He signed at Florida State to come and play defensive back. Once Bobby Bowden saw him play a down of offense, he said, this young man's going to play tailback for me. But he always kept the halfback pass because of Dunn's experience playing the quarterback position. He doesn't look like much of a quarterback there to me.
Well, he had the wind at his back, but that's the second year in a row Dunn has thrown the halfback option against Miami.
Keeps that secondary soft.
Look at the secondary. Will have to make a move now. Dunn set free past the 50. Starks giving chase. Dunn breaks it for a touchdown. 80 yards.
Warrick Dunn, what a play.
He broke away from Marcus Wimberly, and Florida State just busting right out of the gates here with 16, looking for a 17th on the point after. And what was all that talk before the game about Warrick Dunn?
What was all that talk about Miami's defense and Florida State and the Ghost here at the Orange Bowl?
17-0, Seminoles. Warrick Dunn with an 80-yard run for a touchdown.
Watch why you want fullbacks in the game. Watch the fullback right here. The key block cuts the linebacker right there. That allows the hole to open for Warrick Dunn to get through. Once he does, great backs make defensive backs miss. That's exactly what Warrick Dunn did on that run. He made the Miami secondary miss.
That is the longest run of Warrick Dunn's storied career at Florida State. He's on his way to becoming the school's all-time rusher. He needed, coming into the game, a little more than 600 yards to overtake Greg Allen as the all-time runner at Florida State. But what an outstanding young man we're talking about here, Warrick Dunn.
Football is so interesting. Yesterday, when we visited with Warrick Dunn, he mentioned to you and I that if they could come in here and really play well and make some big plays, they could upset Miami. They're favored in the game, but they were thinking about upsetting Miami here in Miami because of all the past things that have happened to Florida State here in Miami. Miami, on the other hand, totally confident, sure they're going to control the game early, all of a sudden fall behind 17-0.
Still in the first quarter. Bentley's kick, a hot one. And for the 5th time that Miami's touched the football, they'll start a series from the 20. Warrick Dunn, in his senior year in high school back in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one of 6 children, had to learn the news that his mother, a police officer in Baton Rouge but working off duty as a security guard, had been shot to death during his senior year in high school. She was working as a security guard for a grocery store. The manager was making a deposit overnight at an ATM. She was killed. Clement to Green for about 7. But with 5 siblings back in Louisiana, Dunn has become the father figure of that family. His brothers and sisters back home, raised by his grandmother, Willie Wheeler. And he occasionally will make a trip, and with Bobby Bowden's blessings, back to Baton Rouge just to talk to his brothers and sisters. There's his mother.
Not only that, he talks to one of the brothers or sisters or the grandmother every day on the telephone. He told me that yesterday in visiting with him. He calls home or they call up to him, and they visit every day. He's a marvelous young man.
2 tight ends for Miami, and that's near the first down. Dunn on his right wrist writes the words "Mom" on his right wrist. You can see it on the tape. And he is truly a Heisman candidate. He came to Florida State and roomed as a freshman with Charlie Ward, another exemplary young man who won the Heisman Trophy back in 1993.
Charlie calls him every once in a while. They visit about how things are going at Florida State.
3rd and 1, fullback gets it, and on a second effort gets the first down. That's Joseph. Let's go back to the sidelines with Michelle.
Well, guys, Dunn also wears the name Mr. T on those wristbands. You can't see it, probably hidden by the gloves. Not only is Dunn a surrogate father to his siblings, but he had a surrogate father himself in Tallahassee, a guy named Chuck Tanner, who just passed away in the last few weeks. He was an older gentleman, a fan of the Seminoles, and had just taken Dunn under his wing there in Tallahassee. But Dunn told me that he lost him just a few weeks ago, Jim.
Well, you know, Michelle, when we were talking to Dunn, well, we'll get back to that. As Clement under fire, tucks it away, takes the sack. Frustration for the Hurricanes, who are being swamped here early, 17-0.
Greg Spires, number 90, the defensive end, is going to put the pressure on Clement. The thing that Florida State can do when they get you into passing situations, you are playing right into their hands. That is the biggest fear that Butch Davis had and Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator at Miami, had coming into this game. Don't let Florida State get you to where they know you want to throw the ball. That was a 1st and 10 pass, but they're down 17-0. You anticipate the pass in that kind of situation.
Andre Wadsworth is starting nose guard for Florida State, hobbles to the sidelines. A little nicked up on that last play. Julian Pittman is in. 2nd down and 13. Got a flag. Maybe a free down for Miami, but just a little gain.
Looked like the snap count of Ryan Clement drew Florida State off.
Here's a Miami team that had allowed 13 points in the first 4 games. And now Florida State erupts for 17 in the first quarter alone.
Big plays constantly harped on this week. Big plays. Great players make great plays. That's kind of the theme that both coaches were instilling in their team. Thus far, the Florida State players have come up with those great plays.
54-yard fumble return for touchdown. Warrick Dunn, 80-yard run, touchdown. 2nd and 9. Miami. Clement fumbled. And Jay Ina recovered. Another flag is down. This time Peter Boulware combined with Renard Wilson to hammer the quarterback, and it looks like the 3rd holding penalty of the first quarter against the Miami offensive line.
And it was on 61. Jay Ina just could not handle Renard Wilson. There's just too much heat on him right now. Wilson's wide outside him.
Offense, penalty decline, 3rd down.
In that situation, all of the advantage goes to the rusher.
They have a saying, the sack attack for the Seminoles. They say, meet me there or beat me there. That's what Henry Crockett likes to say, and that's the rush to the quarterback.
A couple of those guys, Wilson and Boulware, they're impossible in the block alone. You've got to double them with a guard or a tackle, with a back tight end. You need to get some help on some of those guys.
Already with 3 sacks in the first quarter, 3rd and forever, and Clement has a man down there. Caught again for a good gain by Yatil Green. 40-yard completion to the Florida State 40.
Yatil Green has been open deep 3 different times in this game thus far against the bump coverage. Mario Edwards, number 15, right there, just gets outrun by an excellent athlete. Clement does put the ball where he needs to that time. A huge play for Miami.
It was 3rd and 20, and they go for 40. In fact, Green has almost a 100-yard quarter here with 4 catches, 94 yards. Ferguson, another flag down.
On that last play, 3rd and 20, it's unusual at times to see those corners pressed up quite that much. You might get off the ball a little bit in that kind of a situation, but Florida State has such confidence in their defensive backs and such confidence in that pass rush, they'll get up and press you in 3rd and 20, 1st and 10. It doesn't matter to them.
Florida State was offsides. So Ferguson gained 6, but they'll take the 5 and get the down back. 1st and 5 from the Seminole 35.
There's Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator at Florida State.
Tyrell McMillan will be a new challenge for Mickey Andrews' defense. Number 28 has come into the backfield for Miami.
He's more of a power, strong inside runner than Ferguson is.
They don't get the playoff in time, but they'll switch ends and have the wind at their back. A disastrous first quarter for the Hurricanes. Bobby Bowden's team so impressive early, 17-0. We'll return to the Orange Bowl after this message and a word from your local station. Jim Nance and Terry Donahue back with you, along with Michelle Tafoya. And what really makes that 17-0 score more remarkable is that Florida State had the football for 2.5 minutes.
That is a remarkable stat right there. There's not a football coach in the country that would believe that that stat would prove to be true.
But Miami driving, 1st and 5, Florida State 35. McMillan, first carry of the game, and that's near a first. In fact, let's point that out. You don't keep the football for 12.5 minutes without moving it, and they've had it now 3 times, with this one being the 3rd possession, 3 times in Florida State territory.
And they were working into the wind in the first quarter and had receivers open. They just missed them on 2 different occasions. This quarter, they're with the wind. It's going to help their throwing and their attack.
McMillan was the starter in the first 2 games this year during Ferguson's absence, and he picks up a good gain there, but not enough for the first. 2nd and 1. Fake the pitch, going long, Green's open. Did he get a foot down? Yes, touchdown, Miami.
Yatil Green has been open all day long against Florida State's defensive backs. In this case, number 23, Byron Capers, is beat badly by Green. Does he get a foot down? Hard to tell right there.
Extra point is missed by Miami. The kick by Andy Crossland, a freshman. That's the 3rd PAT he's missed this year. 17-6 Seminoles. Should this have been a touchdown? Yatil Green.
In college football, you've got to have 1 foot down when you have possession of the ball. Right there, he's got possession of the ball. Looks to me like Miami got away with one there. It's a good throw by Ryan Clement, but it does not look like Yatil Green has control of that ball when that ball came down.
Clement throwing his 10th touchdown of the season versus 2 interceptions, one of them coming today. And Green, don't forget, he caught that 40-yard pass play on 3rd and 20 to keep that drive going.
And that completion's going to help Ryan Clement's confidence right there.
And the kick will not be run back. Crossland drives it to the back of the end zone. Florida State's defense had not allowed a touchdown in 9 quarters.
I'm not sure they allowed one in that quarter either.
Really? That's right. UCLA all over Arizona State, 28-7.
How about them Bruins?
You told me you like the Bruins in that spot today.
I like them. UCLA was right to upset Arizona State. I know the game's not over, but they had the right mindset going into it.
Let's see if the Miami defense can respond. The players on the Miami bench waving their arms, getting the crowd into the game. Busby. Cooper is there. Cooper. That was an important tackle put on him by Dennis Scott. They pump fake to Cooper, and it throws a couple of defenders. It goes for 23 yards.
Andre Cooper got into the seam between the corner and the safety. A little pump fake by Thad Busby drew the corner up, and all of a sudden there was a seam in that defense.
Warrick Dunn is out on this series. Rock Preston replaces him. He's quite a talent also. Lined up as the tailback out of the eye. There he is, Preston, in traffic for about 2, maybe 3. Miami defensively had not allowed a touchdown in 13 quarters coming into this game. In fact, over 200 minutes had elapsed until they gave up a touchdown, and that was the Warrick Dunn run.
And Butch Davis attributes that improvement to better play out of his secondary, better support by those defensive backs.
Booker Pickett, you saw him for a moment, 53 in on the defensive line for Miami on 2nd and 8. Busby with good time. Man is open. He's got the tight end, Pearsall, who rumbles to the 36.
You don't see a tight end in the Florida State offense all that often. It's unusual that they throw to the tight end. They're generally a 3 or 4 wideout offense. But right there, Melvin Pearsall came across the middle, made the reception.
It goes for 19, and no huddle for Florida State. Up to 36 of Miami. This time he'll take it under center. Busby prefers the shotgun. Preston to about 3 Hurricanes that included Denny Fortney. Orange Bowl jinx. Well, against Miami, you might be able to make a case. It's been since 1984 since the Seminoles beat Miami on this field. But since that win in '84 against Miami, Florida State has beaten Nebraska twice and Notre Dame once on the Orange Bowl field. 2nd down, pass play, a beauty. Goes for the 1st down to Cooper. 12:20 remaining in the 1st half from the Orange Bowl. Some light showers now in the area. Jim Nantz with Terry Donahue and Michelle Tafoya. Florida State scored first on a field goal set up by an interception by Troy Saunders on the Ryan Clement pass. And then another Miami mistake, a fumble by Ferguson, returned for a touchdown by Shevin Smith. The next time Florida State's offense had the ball, Warrick Dunn broke it, 80 yards for a score. Miami has just come back to connect on a touchdown pass, missing the point after. And on 1st and 10, Rock Preston runs for about 3. Florida State driving. 17-6 Seminoles. Both teams come in undefeated, 4-0 on the year.
Bobby Bowden used to call the offensive plays at Florida State. Now he just makes suggestions in between series. The offensive coordinator, Mark Richt, he makes the calls on each particular play. They signal them out into the field, even though Florida State operates out of a no-huddle offense.
Florida State at the top of your screen brings in Peter Warwick. Warwick for the first time, but it's Preston getting the running play, and he's about a yard shy of the first. Scott got to him first. Peter Warwick is just a freshman from Bradenton, Florida. They say he's an exceptional talent. He was the #1 recruit back in '95, a redshirt freshman with tremendous skills and speed.
They predict he'll be the next great star at Florida State.
Wayne Messam has replaced him on 3rd and 1. Florida State will go from the shotgun on the short yardage situation. Preston near the chain. Right at the 15. Preston, a junior. He'll get the starting call next year after Dunn graduates. He's averaging 12 yards a carry coming into this game. Khalid Abdullah was injured on that play, the fullback. And he is assisted off the field. Looked like he may have hurt his left arm.
Florida State plays so many different players on both offense and defense. It's incredible. They run 4, 5 wide receivers.
They don't have the first. 4th and inches. And they bring in Pooh Bear Williams at fullback, number 22.
About 270 pounds worth of Pooh Bear.
Well, let's see. Bobby Bowden's going to go for it. Leading 17-6. They bring in 2 tight ends. Kamari Charlton, the 2nd tight end, joining Pearsall.
This is an area for a quarterback sneak. You've got just inches to go. There's no use giving the ball to a back who's lined up 4 or 7 yards deep in the backfield.
Quarterback sneak for the first. You got it, Terry. Butch Davis, who used to be the defensive line coach here for Jimmy Johnson. Pooh Bear brought in, but used as a decoy on the sneak.
How do you decoy a 270-pound fullback? There aren't many of them born.
I didn't say you could hide them. 1st and 10. Warwick Dunn has returned. His last carry went 80 yards for a touchdown. Here he is again. Ooh, is he hit hard right away by Twan Russell, and James Burgess finished off the play. No gain.
When you're playing linebacker and you've got to take on a fullback who's going to go right at you, this is what it looks like when the guy's 6'1" and about 270 pounds. He really missed Russell, 45 right there. Instead of making full contact, he winged him, as we say.
This is the 11th play of the drive for Florida State. It started the series from their own 20, 2nd and 11. E.G. Green and Peter Warwick are the receivers. Busby's going to the end zone, looking for Green, and almost intercepted. Dwayne Starks with the coverage. E.G. Green had to turn into a defensive back suddenly to prevent the INT.
Dwayne Starks had great coverage on E.G. Green this time. The ball really should have been intercepted. Right there, E.G. Green, as you said, played good defense, took it away from Dwayne Starks, preventing the interception. Sometimes when you're playing offense, all of a sudden you got to play defense.
3rd and 11. Busby, end zone, out of bounds. Caught by Cooper, out of bounds. He wanted the interference call. There was some contact over at the back end of the end zone, back corner.
Andre Cooper was a great high school basketball player. He has leaping ability, but right here, Earl Little is all over him, and they're shoving at each other right there. But right there, Andre Cooper threw him out of the way. To me, that was offensive interference. An offender cannot use his hands to move off a defender in a pass play.
Scott Bentley, already good today from 48 yards, will now try one from 32. Bentley's kick is good. 20-6, Florida State, and we'll return to the Orange Bowl after this word from your local station. Florida State with 2 field goals from Scott Bentley, a fumble return for a touchdown, and an 80-yard Warwick Dunn run for another score, leading 20-6.
You got to believe that the Florida State players are feeling awfully good about themselves right now. They've come into this stadium. Really, I'm not positive that they were sure about the game at the onset, but here with a 20-6 lead, you can just tell on the sideline, and when they just got out of that kick coverage huddle, they're ready to play, and they're feeling a lot better about themselves.
Come on, Crawford!
So for Miami, the Hurricanes played early in the year, 3 games in 13 days, but before this one, only 1 game in the last 29 days. So with some concern, there'll be a little rustiness on the Hurricane side.
A lot of coaches would feel that's not enough competition during a 29-day period. However, Butch Davis felt strongly that his team was totally rested, healthy, and psychologically just couldn't wait for the kickoff. But the big breaks in the quarter went to Florida State. They made the big plays. That's really been the difference in the game. It isn't that Miami's not ready to play or they're rusty. The breaks have gone to Florida State. They've made the big plays.
Jones comes up to make the catch. And good starting field position for Miami. At the 37-yard line, Trent Jones. And let's go back downside to the sidelines with Michelle.
Well, guys, this is Jim Polo and Torrey Davis. No one is happier to see Scott Bentley make his field goals than this family right here. Their 16-year-old son, Jimmy Davis, idolized Scott. He was a young high school kicker, just 16 years old when he died in a car crash. Scott Bentley spoke at his funeral saying, Jimmy, I want you to know that every time I make a kick in the college or the pros, when those arms go up, buddy, they're going up for you. And the family wanted to be here to see it. Jim?
And Scott Bentley has already made 2 in this game. Twice able to raise the arms. Ferguson for about 3. Miami has run the football 17 times for a total net yardage of 7 yards, losing a great many yards on 3 sacks.
And you've got to remember that Yatil Green has been open deep several times in this game. They need to take advantage of the win situation here. They can beat Florida State deep. They've proven it. They need to get back to it.
2nd and 8. The draw, Ferguson. Took about 4 Seminoles to bring him down. It'll be 3rd and about 5. Florida State has employed 10 defensive backs so far in this game.
And at least 2 deep in their defensive line. They're rotating fresh players in constantly in the defensive line and at linebacker positions.
Mickey Andrews, who told us this week, we've been playing musical chairs in the secondary in his 13th year as the defensive coordinator.
Likes to play a lot of players, feels like they practice better, they stay healthier, they fight to get those reps.
3rd down and 5. Maybe a free down for Miami. There is a flag as they sack the quarterback. Cannell Spain with the sack, but if it's a penalty against Florida State, it would likely be enough for a 1st down. It's going against the Seminoles.
Cannell Spain was anxious to get at that quarterback, and again the voice inflection of Ryan Clement is what drew him off right there. They jump. He actually didn't jump. 55, Bernard Wilson jumped. Spain makes the play. It's just after the flag. You know, coming into the game, I felt like Wilson, Boulware, and Wadsworth were the guys that couldn't be single blocked, but Spain has really stepped his game up today. He's made 2 or 3 key plays. He wants to get back in there. He didn't like rotating out of there.
He said they took away my sack. Someone jumped, and it gave Miami a first down. Wadsworth, by the way, out with a contusion on his leg, and they'll evaluate his playing status the rest of the day at halftime. Clement. Oh, is he hammered? Lamont Green, the sophomore from right here in Miami.
Lamont Green, along with Stevens, number 52. The heat that Florida State is putting on Ryan Clement right now is going to take a toll as this game goes along. Right there, you see Stevens, 52, make the play.
Demetro Stevens in on that hit, along with Lamont Green. Second and a long 10. Another draw, a flag down. Ferguson scampers to the 43. A flag right on the snap. And Mickey Andrews tips us off. Motion penalty against Miami. Again, mistakes hurting the Hurricanes.
When you get into a big emotional game like this,
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
a game where there's such a buildup on not only the local level but the national level, you constantly talk about mistakes to your team. Let's go into this game. Let's try to play mistake-free football. Florida State thus far has done a great job of that. Miami has had trouble with it.
Tony Gator back as a receiver, split wide to the right. He is really exciting if they can get the football in his hands. 2nd and 15. Comes the pressure. Clement, good job getting it away. Short gain to Chris Jones, the tight end. Actually got about 7 or maybe 8 yards. Dexter Jackson blitzed the quarterback, and Clement's a little shaky.
Florida State came with the blitz here, and Ryan Clement gets just hammered right there by Dexter Jackson. Just hammered. What a hit.
So far, you talk about under pressure. 3 sacks, 7 times he's been hurried. He's picked off once also.
Got to be careful about all those pregame statements you make.
3rd and 8. Fakes the pitch, makes the pass. Nice catch. First down for Green at the 32. Is he impressive?
Well, he is. Yatel Green has started out with a bang this afternoon. This is just a little quick inside slant. He starts outside, breaks it back inside against 15 Mario Edwards, makes a good catch, and then dives for the first down. What an effort. Yatel Green is a big physical player. He's at least 6'2", probably 205 pounds.
Already with 143 yards receiving. First down Miami, 4:40 to go in the half. Ferguson inside the 30. Lead blocker Nick Williams out in front of him. Gain of about 4. Ferguson from the same high school in the Miami area that produced Alonzo Highsmith, another fine running back in Hurricane history. And his 1,069-yard season last year, only the 2nd 1,000-yard rusher in Miami school history.
And he's a complete back. He blocks as well as receives in addition to running with the football. He's complete.
2nd and 7. Clement rolling out. And the pass intended for Benton, and he had someone on his back who knocked it away. It was James Colsey.
He's one of those 9 or 10 defensive backs that Florida State's been rotating in there.
Colsey, the nephew of the former Buckeye and Raider Neil Colsey.
Magic Benton, number 8, is one of the finest weapons that Miami has come across in recent years. He's open there. The ball is a little bit high, a little bit late, but that hit him in the hands. He's got to make that catch in this kind of a game.
Another third down situation. They've converted a couple of times. They had the big 3rd and 20 conversion on their last series that led to a touchdown. This one, let's see. Clement across the middle. Jones first down at the 10. $19 yards on the third down situation, 3rd and 7.
Miami has utilized their tight end this season as a receiver. Chris C. Jones comes across right here. Clement, it's a little 3-step drop. He runs an inside slant route. The ball is delivered quickly right on the target. Excellent throw, excellent timing.
Florida State has called a timeout. Mickey Andrews said, hey, come on, guys. That's 6 times they've converted on 3rd down. Miami's driving, trying to get back into this game. We'll be right back. Well, Darrell Bush, the leader of the defense, has come back in out of the timeout. He does not have a broken nose, they say now, but he is dazed and double vision. He's in the locker room for a while, and Bobby Bowden signaled for him to get into the game.
You want your middle linebacker, the guy who controls your defensive tempo. You want him back in that game if there's any way possible he can play.
1st and 10, or 1st and goal from the 10, and Ferguson picks up 2.
You know, Bush's nose has been cut the 2 previous weeks. He takes about 5 or 6 stitches. Those helmets come down on those bridges of the nose, and they cut them sometimes. That's what he's been going through.
Let's get another update on that. Back down to you, Michelle.
All right, well, when he came off the field and they were looking at the stitches that came out of his nose, his biggest concern was, did I get the better of the other guy on that play? But they re-stitched him up, took him off the field for a while to monitor him, Jim. But as you said, now he's back in.
Hey, this guy's a warrior. He's a warrior. He loves it.
2nd and goal from the 8. Miami down 14. Clement, right side, Williams stacked up at the 5. Good one-on-one play there by Samari Rolle, wearing Deion Sanders' old jersey, number 2. That number was retired last year and will not be worn after Rolle finishes his Florida State career next year.
Miami slipped number 30, Nick Williams, out of the backfield there. Beautiful form tackle right there by Samari Rolle. Puts his head right where he needs to, brings him down. Excellent defensive play.
And now Ryan Clement says, I need to talk it over. He calls a timeout for Miami with 2:38 remaining in the 2nd quarter. It'll be 3rd and goal when we come back for Miami from the 5. And you talk about how one game could change, one play could change the complexion of a game. And a touchdown here for Miami before the half would bring them within 7 should they make the extra point.
Psychologically, you sure want to get 7 out of here and not 3. But you might have to settle for 3 if it's 4th and 5, 4th and goal. With 5 yards to go, you might have to settle for your 3 points and go back in and regroup at halftime. This is a huge play for Miami's offense.
Miami has had tremendous success on 3rd down. 3rd and goal. Clement backpedaling, now flinging end zone. Touchdown! Yatil Green for the 2nd time.
Yatil Green has had one of the great halves in Miami history right here at the top of the screen. He's a big physical receiver. He pushes off right there. The official doesn't call it, but that play belongs to Ryan Clement. He got away from the Florida State blitz, escaped, and made the play work.
This time, Crossland kicks the extra point through. Ryan Clement has now thrown for over 200 yards in the first half. 2 going for touchdowns. It's Florida State now by 7.
Bernard Wilson, number 55, right there, is matched up against Jay Ina, the right tackle of Miami. Ina misses the block. Wilson puts the pressure, but Clement escapes and gets that ball over to Yatil Green for the touchdown. Great play by Ryan Clement.
He was 5 out of 6 on that drive. Now look at his numbers, over 200 yards passing.
Look at his reaction. You think he's fired up? Butch Davis was saying that this guy is like a gym rat. He's around the players all the time, loves to go out with the offensive linemen, be around him. Look at this guy.
Put him on the kick coverage team with that kind
They might.
enthusiasm. And Warwick runs it back near the 20. Jorge Gaitan kicked the football.
Miami may use their timeouts here if they've got 2 timeouts. If they get Florida State stopped here on this 1st and 10, they very well might go to their timeouts to get that ball back for their own offense, because Yatil Green has demonstrated the ability to get open and beat the Florida State defense.
Miami has had the football for almost 20 minutes, 20 of the 27:30 in the game. That Busby, will he beat the play clock? Just barely. And Dunn fumbles the football. Recovered by Miami. Denny Fortney knocked it loose. Kenny Holmes recovered.
Can football turn around in a hurry?
Holmes said, I'm tired of people saying we haven't beaten anybody. Bring them on.
Well, Denny Fortney, number 99, caused the fumble, and Kenny Holmes, number 90, he got it. But right there, the ball is stripped. Holmes, Johnny on his spot, ends up with it. Coaches talk all the time at Miami. Tackle, stripped the ball.
1st and goal from the 9. Clement going right away for it. But a miscommunication with Magic Benton. And Clement's over there to discuss it with him. Ryan Clement, who again said beating Florida State isn't something we hope to do, it's something we're going to do.
Boy, you like Ryan Clement. He walked right over that time to Magic Benton and got it squared away. He left no doubt in anybody's mind who busted that play. That's leadership. You want that out of your quarterback.
Second and goal. Ferguson, no gain. Canell Spain was in on him.
Miami has been known this season to work the tight end position with the ball. They also like backs out of the backfield, but when you have a guy like Yatil Green in your lineup, you want to try to get him the ball, get the best player on your team the ball if you can. Right now, he's the hot guy.
3rd down has been their down. 3rd and goal. Clement steps up, dumps it. Ferguson felt the footsteps. Byron Capers would have kept him short of the goal line for sure anyway.
The pressure from Florida State disrupted the timing on the play-action pass right here. Again, Wilson came around 55 from the outside, forced Clement out of the pocket. He dumped it off. Just couldn't handle the ball there. Ferguson, number 1.
So a field goal try by the freshman who has not missed a field goal this season, 5 or 5. 26-yard try by Crossland, and a kick is good. Miami converts the fumble into 3.
You know, you have to give the Florida State defense credit. They came in and kept them out of that touchdown range. They gave up 3 points. That's to their credit. But the psychological lift for Miami right now, coming back, getting back into the rhythm of this game and getting their confidence back is huge right before halftime.
And is the wind important today? Well, 33 of the 36 points in this game have been scored at that end of the field.
When you play in wind, generally speaking, you're going to do anything you can as a coach to make sure that your team gets the wind advantage as you decide what that advantage is. Both coaching staffs want the wind at their back.
Tonight on CBS, welcome home to America's Night on Television. All new episodes of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, Early Edition, and Walker, Texas Ranger. All new episodes coming your way tonight here on CBS.
There was a big play in last year's Miami-Florida State game right before the half that turned the game around in favor of the Seminoles. It really broke Miami's spirit in that ball game. It'll be interesting to see how both these teams react after that important field goal and points on the board right there with 1.5 minutes left in the first half.
Gaitan to kick off. Pops it in the air this time. Warwick on the run back. And he is belted at the 18. Eugene Ridgely in on the play, along with Roderick Mack, a freshman, number 51. Well, since the championship era began in '83, the Hurricanes in October, 48-5.
They're hard to beat in September, October, November. It doesn't matter. They're hard anywhere, and they're particularly hard here in the Orange Bowl.
.124 before halftime. Busby from under center gives to Dunn, who is tripped up at the 20. James Burgess clogging the middle. 1:12 and clock running. Miami with 2 timeouts. They make a play here. They may, in fact, utilize one of the 2 timeouts.
I'll be very surprised if they don't. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't utilize a timeout right there. But when you play a dangerous Florida State team, and every Florida State team is dangerous, you probably wonder about whether or not how far you want that clock to get down before you start utilizing those defensive timeouts.
Now Busby retreats to the shotgun. He'll return with the crowd so stirred. Dunn, 15-yard line, 3rd and 3.
They won't use one here. They can't stop the clock.
Well, there's a signal for one by Burgess. 28 seconds. Clock stops. So Miami does, in fact, use a timeout. It'll be 3rd and about 3 for Florida State when we come back. Florida State 3rd and 2 with 28 seconds left in the second quarter. Leading 20-16. Miami with a furious comeback here in the second quarter. They plug it here. They get the football back one more time before intermission. But Dunn has the first down yardage out to the 30.
Carries for the Seminoles.
Warwick Dunn contained today except for 1 carry, and that's a big exception. That one went for 80 yards, the longest run of his career. Touchdown in the first quarter. 7 carries, 98 yards overall.
That's a heck of a good first half against one of the best defenses in the country in several categories.
They don't even have to snap it again. They'll take it to the locker room with the lead. But remember, Florida State was in front 17-0 at one time. They'll take the lead at the halfway point, 20-16. And let's go down to the field with Michelle Tafoya. Michelle?
All right, I'm standing by with Butch Davis. 16 second quarter points after Florida State came out so strong. Your players have really gained the momentum coming back or going into halftime.
Obviously, the turnovers have made a big change of difference. You know, we totally messed the first quarter up. I mean, we put ourselves in some bad holes with some turnovers, didn't effectively convert on some 3rd downs, and gave up, you know, a big play. So, you know, but I think our players are fighting. We're back in it. They believe they're in it, and it should be a hell of a second half.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Coach. That's the end of the first half with the score. Florida State 20 and Miami 16. Pat O'Brien, Danny Sheridan, and Greg James will be coming along next with College Football Today after this word from your local station. Florida State leading in this battle of unbeaten, 20-16. Jim Nance along with Terry Donahue. And Terry, what do you look for here in the second half?
Well, you need to start the second half with some momentum, particularly if you're Florida State, because the momentum went to Miami at the end of the first half there. Time of possession is all in Miami's favor. The thing that Miami did was just self-destruct in that first half. They let Florida State make a couple plays on them. Warrick Dunn made the big 80-yard run. But so far, it's an even game as far as I'm concerned.
Let's go back down to the sideline. Michelle Tafoya standing by with Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden.
Coach, you jumped out to a 17-0 lead. Miami responded. How do you get the momentum back in the second half?
I don't know, but that's what we've got to do. The way you get it back, we could get this opening kickoff and drive it for a touchdown. That'd be the way to get it back. If not, they've got it, and it's got to be some kind of a score, either a turnover or something, to get the momentum back.
Good luck, Coach. Thanks.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, Michelle, Florida State will have the wind in the third quarter. Miami for the final quarter. And Miami has some kind of history against the Seminoles when it gets down to fourth quarter comebacks.
Well, all those old ghosts that Florida State has in that closet, they want to get rid of those ghosts and destroy the idea that they can't win here in the Orange Bowl. And of course, Miami's trying to keep those ghosts alive and trying to play on everybody's mental psyche as to whether or not they can continue the dominance here in the Orange Bowl.
Gaitan's kick to Preston at the 18 and out to the 25. Time of possession was more than double for Miami in the first half. And Ryan Clements threw for over 200 yards. Half of Florida State's 160-yard total came on the 80-yard run by Warrick Dunn.
And I think that Miami clearly showed that they can beat the Florida State defense deep.
Busby has 3 receivers to start out the second half. Dunn sidesteps a defender and out for about 5. Terry, you focused in on Thad Busby before the game, and look at his numbers here today.
Well, thus far he's not played well, and he had one good drive during the game, but you'd have to say that the Ryan Clement right now is played better in the first half than certainly Busby has.
2nd and 5. Busby flings it, man open at the 43. It's Green, E.G. Green.
Played pretty well on that play. Busby did.
Well, it's just so critical when you have the football going in this direction. You got to make the most of it here in this quarter. That went for 26 yards.
E.G. Green in the slot is a dangerous receiver. He runs down the field and then just fakes outside and comes into the middle, and Busby hits him with the ball.
Green's first catch of the day. He was a 1,000-yard receiver last season. Set the school record. On first down, Busby, good time. Now will run with it. First down and all the way to the 26. 18-yard scramble by Thad Busby.
Stop by Little.
Thad Busby is not really known as a scrambling running type quarterback, but makes a good decision here. Comes off the play fake, doesn't find anyone open, pulls it down, and then runs physically. Right here, he punishes the Miami defense, puts his pads down and punishes them. That's what you want out of your quarterback. You don't want to get him hit all the time, but you want him to be physical.
Busby with 4 seconds on the play clock. Off the audible, now fires right side. And intended for Cooper. Starks on the coverage. Good looking receivers at Florida State. Although the big game today belongs to Miami's wide receiver Yatil Green.
When you put a quarterback into the shotgun formation, you're putting the game into his hands. You're making him your premier player. And Bobby Bowden told me yesterday that Busby is a much better player in the shotgun throwing the ball than he is underneath the center. Today, Bobby's mixed it up with both.
From under center this time, 2nd and 10. Big hole for Dunn. And finally, Dennis Scott has to ride him down, but it's a first down for Warrick Dunn, and he's over 100. He has just set the school record for most 100-yard games in a career. He was tied with Greg Allen coming in, but that's the 17th time in his career he's gone for over 100.
Bill Miller, the defensive coordinator at Miami, said we've got to stop 28 in this game. We've got to stop him on the ground and as a receiver. Warrick Dunn has not been stopped on the ground today. He's been very impressive.
First down from the 14. Dunn up the middle for about 5. Bobby Bowden just told Michelle Tafoya coming out of the locker room, we need to take that first drive and take it all the way down the field for a touchdown. And they're certainly showing signs of it right now.
They certainly are, and that's what you want as a coach. The opening drive of the second half oftentimes sets the tempo for how your team's going to play in that half of football.
Dunn replaced by Rock Preston in the backfield. 2nd and 5. Inside give. Fake the give, and Busby kept it and sacked by Kennard Lang. Well, he didn't fool Lang. He
whenever you play against Bobby Bowden in the goal line area, he loves to run bootleg passes. Miami was well schooled. Number 96, Kennard Lang, played that just as the coaches taught him.
So now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 13 from the 17. A 3-receiver set. Busby, left side, Preston. Big hit, but he bangs away for the first down at the 3-yard line. The hit, had they sustained it, would have kept them short of a first. They would have been trying a field goal. He broke away from Earl Little. Hard piece of running by Rock Preston.
In big plays, players step up and make great plays for you. That's exactly what Rock Preston does with this little swing pass from Thad Busby. It's well covered. He makes a play, and then right there, he breaks a tackle on number 4, Earl Little.
Flag down. The play was whistled down. Busby on the keep, but they have a motion penalty against, legal procedure penalty against Florida State. They'll have a goal-to-go situation. First down from the 8.
Five-yard penalty. First down.
Winningest team in the last 10 years. With 100 wins, Florida State winning the national championship right here against Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, 1993.
And right there,
16 win.
9 consecutive top 5 finishes. Think about that.
Amazing.
That's a dynasty. That's what that is.
Preston. He drove for a couple of extra yards with Michael Lawson on his back.
You can tell how deep the Florida State team is when you can go and take Warrick Dunn, rest him, bring in Rock Preston. You can alternate receivers in there. You get E.G. Green, Wayne Messam, Peter Warrick, Andre Cooper. They've got so many players to go in and out of their lineup.
Michael Lawson shaken up, and they'll help him to the sideline and bring in Marvin Davis. Yeah, you're talking about Florida State's high finishes the last 9 years. 2-3-3, 4-4-2, 1-4-4. That's not a phone number. That's their final ranking in the last 9 years. Amazing. 2nd and goal. Running play again. Preston, end zone, touchdown.
You talk about a drive that set the tempo for Florida State. That was a drive. Come out with the opening kickoff in the second half, establish the run and the pass against this Miami defense, and take away all of the momentum that Miami gained with that field goal right before the end of the half.
Well, Preston earned the touchdown, the right to find the end zone when he broke free on that critical third down swing pass, his first touchdown of the season. And Bentley makes the point after. 75-yard drive and 10 plays. The coach got his wish. 27-16 Florida State. State back in front by 11. Miami about to touch the football for the first time in the second half. Florida State's best drive of the game, resulting in the Preston touchdown. Benton will down it. The Preston touchdown, though, really set up by this effort on third down.
Well, it's such a key play because he's got to get to the 5-yard line. Right there, he breaks the tackle by number 4, Earl Little. And then here, he spins off 2 Miami defenders for the first down. Look at his reaction here. First touchdown of the season for Brock Preston. He knows.
Clement and Miami struggled going in this direction in the first quarter. He's coming out firing. Lofts it. That's Carlo Joseph for a gain of about 3. Ryan Clement with over 200 yards passing in the first half. And they had some big strikes in that opening half.
And right there, the long ball, he's had a couple wide receivers open. He'd add to that total if he hadn't missed them.
2nd and 7. Ferguson looked outside, broke it back inside. Gain of 3, 3rd and 4. Vernon Crawford and Byron Capers combine on the hit. Crawford with the big blow in the first half that knocked the football free from Ferguson. Wisconsin beating Ohio State 14-10 in the 4th quarter. We've got 2 of the top 4 teams in the country trailing right now, with Arizona State also behind Arizona State behind UCLA. 3rd and 4. Clement gonna run for it. I don't know. Had to get right to the 30.
I think he's a little short. I don't think he made it.
Any piece of the football touching the 30 and it's a first down. Mickey Andrews says, watch that spot. He's not happy about it. So maybe they marked it a little more forward than Florida State anticipated at first.
There's never been an opposing coach that ever thought we got a good spot like that. You just don't believe that way. But Clement makes a real effort here. I think he's short. They gave it to him.
Well, they did.
No wonder Mickey was mad. I'm with Mickey.
That's not only good enough to keep the football for another few plays at least, but you keep the football out of the hands of Florida State with the win in this quarter.
And that certainly proved to be the tale in the first half. The win, the team with the win, was the team that dominated.
Again, 40 of the 43 points in this game have been scored when they're going in Florida State's current direction. Timeout called by Miami. They have a new set of downs midway through the 3rd quarter, down 11. What happened? Why the timeout here, Terry?
Well, it looked like Miami had too many players on the field. Tony Gator right there is going to leave the team area right there and sprint to the sideline. And boy, Ryan Clement, he was upset having to take this timeout. He came over to the sideline and let his feelings be known.
And even to compound their concern, just a second ago, Yatil Green suddenly rushed to the locker room after that incredible first half where he caught 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10. Clement never a chance as Peter Boulware.
What happens to you when you try to run bootleg type action against Florida State? The pressure is just too much. Peter Boulware coming in from the top left right there. The quarterback never had a chance.
He went right around Curlin Blaze, the left tackle. Mickey Andrews says, all right, that's sack number 4 for the game, number 26 on the season for Florida State. 2nd and 18. A draw. Ferguson got a big chunk back out to the 36. It'll be 3rd and 4.
That's a nice call by Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator, not trying to get it all back at one time. All of a sudden now he took the pressure off Ryan Clement by putting him in this down and distance situation as opposed to 3rd and real long yardage.
Only the 2nd back over 2,000 yards in his career. 2nd to Otis Anderson, all-time rushing list at Miami. 3rd and 4. 3 receivers set. Clement going long for Gator, and there's a flag thrown. He was held up by Chevin Smith.
And he was. He definitely grabbed him. Chevin Smith definitely grabbed Tony Gator going deep. Sometimes when you're a defensive back and you know you get beat, you want to go ahead and grab him. And that's exactly what happened. Tony Gator right there, number 22, gets grabbed right there by Chevin Smith. And sometimes when you're a linebacker trying to play coverage like that, you got to go ahead and do it. And in this case, the safety man.
Smith will come out of the game.
Holding, defense, 10-yard penalty, previous spot, 1st down.
And Sean Hamlet replaces him, who was really sick this morning, fighting the flu.
That's a lot less costly than giving up a long touchdown pass right there.
They said they were giving Hamlet IVs and everything just to try to get some nutrients into the system before the game, and he's seen sparse action today. But Miami had it 2nd and 18, and again able to somehow find a way to get a first.
Well, the draw play and then the pass interference right there, holding.
6:45 to go, 3rd quarter, and it's Ferguson. Sean Hamlet makes the tackle.
This is a tough Florida State defense to try to run on, but Miami has been persistent in trying to be balanced and trying to establish the run. Their running yardage isn't impressive because of the sack totals, but they have been able to dictate the rhythm of the game and also decide pretty much when they want to throw and when they want to run and stay out of those long yardage situations where Florida State's at their best.
2nd and 8. Ferguson for no gain. Darrell Bush hit him first. That is the 20th carry of the game for Daniel Ferguson, for a total of 52 yards. 20 for 52. He was averaging 6 yards a pop coming into the game.
This is a dominant Florida State defense, and Darrell Bush, the leader of that defense in the middle, is a tremendous player. He might be the first Rhodes Scholarship winner for Florida State in football. He's going to be a candidate, and he's a great student and a tremendous young man. He's got the highest academic average on the team 3 years running.
3rd down and 9. Miami still hot on 3rd down. Let's see. Gator pulls it in for the catch and the 1st down at the 38. Tony Gator, the senior who had 5 catches on the year coming in. 4 of them had gone for touchdowns.
Florida State changes up their coverage. Sometimes they're pressing, sometimes they're not. In this particular case, number 15, Mario Edwards, falls to the ground, and it looked like Tony Gator, it looked like he cramped. It looked like he had a bigger play and he cramped.
Well, he's still in the game. That was his first catch. It went for 15 yards and a first. Clement Up top and in traffic. He was trying to hit Gerard Daphnis, the backup tight end.
Tony Gator was wide open. Watch Tony Gator at the top of the screen. This is a quick little counter type pass, 3-step drop, fake the run. He's wide open right there. He wanted that ball. The tight end was totally covered.
Second and 10, 5 minutes remaining third quarter. Florida State 27-16. Ferguson getting no room to operate at all in this quarter, this series. Darrell Bush again. Met him right away. Talk about Bush. He had 3 straight semesters with a perfect 4.0 GPA over the summer. He backed off to a 3.95.
Must have been lifting weights or something.
He could only bring home an A- in real estate finance.
They love that guy at Florida State, and I can see why. Playing there, his nose is all cut up, been stitched up every week, 3 weeks in a row. You got to like that in your linebacker.
Third and 10. Clement overthrows Benton. And now a decision for Butch Davis. Too far for a field goal into this win.
I think you punt the ball here and play field position. You've got the wind against you. You punt and play field position. That's what Butch Davis is going to do when you have a great defense like Miami. To go for it on 4th and 10 against Florida State is low percentage.
Crossland to kick. Up into the air. Will Miami cover it? They got Brooks down there. He makes the catch at the 3, pinning Florida State way back. Well done by Crossland and Brooks. Florida State football from its own 3. Well, Nash had a touchdown against Virginia Tech when Syracuse snapped that 13-game win streak. I'm getting the feeling that the Big East could come down to November 30th, Miami at Syracuse.
Don't forget, though, you got West Virginia in there, and also Virginia Tech's not dead. There's a long season left.
Florida State's worst starting field position. 4 minutes remaining third quarter. And Dunn gets him out of the jam a little bit with 6. Let's go back down to the sidelines. Michelle, what's the word?
Well, at halftime, Coach Bobby Bowden told his Florida State Seminoles that most of the scoring in this game has been done in the west end zone. That's the end zone they're headed to now. So he wants his team to take advantage of this third quarter and do as much scoring as possible, Jim.
That's Warwick Dunn. And they'll get a chance to move the chains with that carry. Michelle out past the 10. Near the 17-yard line. By the way, Yatil Green, you see Dunn shaken up a little bit. Green was dehydrated. He was taken to the locker room. It looked like it could be a leg injury or something. Just cramping up. He was dehydrated. He may return. First down, Florida State. Ball at the 16. Brock Preston again replaces Dunn. Kenny Holmes got in on the quarterback, but he released it in time to Green for the first down. 18 yards to E.G. Green.
Kenny Holmes made a great defensive play, fighting off 2 blockers. Number 90 right on the right of your screen, fights both blockers off, and then Thad Busby, he delivers the ball, but he pays the price right there from Kenny Holmes. He wants to make sure they know he's as good as anybody at Florida State playing defensive end.
First down. Giving chase is Lang. Oh, what a sack. Back at the 20-yard line. That's more than a 10-yard loss. Kennard Lang. It was Holmes and Lang who were trying to say we're as good as Boulware and Wilson.
Well, those 2 defensive ends, first 90 Kenny Holmes, now 96 Kennard Lang. They stepped it up right there, particularly in view of the fact that Florida State had been pinned back on the 3-yard line, and now big loss right there by Kennard Lang.
A 12-yard loss, the second sack for Miami today. 2nd and 22. Wayne Messam in as a receiver. They counter. Preston near the 30. It'll be third and about 16. Orange Bowl just packed with this great rivalry. Florida State has not won against Miami here since 1984. 5 straight losses. But leading today by 11. Trying to do a little bit more business in that west end zone before they switch ends at the end of the quarter. 3rd and 15. Looking long and incomplete. Wayne Messam was covered by Dwayne Starks, and Miami will get the football.
It was still a good series, though, for Florida State, considering the field position they started the drive in. They're at the 3-yard line. At least now they've got the ball out to approximately the 30. It gives them a better chance to play defense now when they have to kick the ball away.
Sean Liss, Florida State's most decorated punter since Roan Stark. Only his 2nd punt of the game. A flag down.
The left tackle for Florida State's punt team just rocked out of there just a little early, and when he rocked, they called it.
Ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Busby on the headphones with Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, and Bobby Bowden comes in for an added word.
Now, Bobby always has something on his mind. He's active with that offensive team, and he knows that those quarterbacks see from ground level. He's as good as anybody in the game at that, talking to that quarterback, telling him what he needs to do.
Liss with no pressure. What a boomer. It's all the way to the end zone. That's a 76-yard punt. I think that gave you a pretty good idea of the force of these wins.
Well, and how important that 27 additional yards of field position was for Florida State with that little drive they had. They changed field position by making that 1st down, getting a little room.
Terry, next week we'll be up in Gainesville for #1 Florida hosting Auburn. The Gators cruising today past LSU as Danny Warfel threw for 3 touchdowns. And the Auburn Tigers come in with Damian Craig. Auburn leading right now over Mississippi State. They're ranked 18th coming into the weekend. That's Daryl McMillan running the football. Miami has to say, if we can get about 1 first down here, we can run the clock down into the 4th quarter and switch sides and have that win. An official timeout on the field.
I think they have
Florida State player a little shaken.
Cannell Spain is shaken up, and they want him off the field. Number 96 there.
So Spain, who was active in that 1st quarter, will sit out for a few plays anyway. And the clock is set back into motion. 2nd down and 8. Clement comes it short. That's Magic Benton. Looking for a little magic on that right side when he cut back over, but that's a 1st down.
Magic Benton hasn't been heard from much today. He starts in motion right here. Just catches a little pass from Ryan Clement, but Clement took an unbelievable hit from Greg Spires after the throw. But Magic Benton is one of the most dynamic young players that they have at the University of Miami. Look at the hit there.
Just the second catch for Benton. It goes for a first down. McMillan tries the right side for short yardage. We're inside of a minute to go, third quarter.
Miami just has not been able to penetrate this Florida State defensive front running the ball. They just have not been able to do it. They've eaten up the clock some, and they've made some decent gains, but the Florida State defense has just been too tough up front.
Rushing yards for Miami today, a mere 31 yards. Total yardage almost even.
And when you look at that passing yardage for Miami, you've got to question whether or not they need to throw it a little more often now, even though they're going to throw into a fierce pass rush.
Gator with the catch on 2nd and 8, and he is about a yard shy of the first. Well, that should run the clock down to the fourth quarter, and Miami is anxious to switch ends. They have come back in the fourth quarter 6 of the last 9 times when they trailed against Florida State entering the final quarter.
And they get that big win.
That's the end of the third. Florida State 27, Miami 16. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. Miami says the fourth quarter belongs to us, but they trail by 11 as we start the final 15. Even the fans agree. In the history of this rivalry, there's so much fanfare about the fourth quarter. 19 times overall, as you see that stat right there. It's even more supported by the fact that 19 times Florida State has led going into the fourth quarter in the history of this series. 13 times they've lost the game.
And they're trying to bring those ghosts out. But what a fumble that was.
Well, let's see if they rule it a fumble. They do. On 3rd and 1, Boulware with the recovery as Clement tried to sneak it for the first.
Casey Jones, the center, along with Ryan Clement, they just mis-exchanged the ball. Oftentimes in 3rd and very short yardage, the center will be lunging, moving forward. The quarterback needs to ride with him a little bit. In that case, Ryan Clement didn't. That's what happened.
Huge play by the Seminole defense. Miami tried to just find a way to survive that third quarter into the win, and they open up the final stanza with a turnover. Busby handoff to Dunn. Dunn for 9.
A lot of people wonder, you get into the shotgun. Bobby Bowden gets into the shotgun. It's a passing formation, but he gets in it so he can run. He passes so he can run. Some people run so they can pass. Bobby Bowden does the opposite.
2nd and 1. There's the sneak. The one that Miami was looking for. First down Seminoles. We've got an update coming your way. Let's send it back to New York and Pat O'Brien.
All right, Jim, who says Notre Dame doesn't have an air game? Watch Ron Paulus find Malcolm Johnson, 45-yard touchdown pass. Fighting Irish are back on track, beating Washington 54-20. Paulus threw 3 TD passes. Quickly back to Jim.
All right, Pat, I know you can't believe that Washington gave up 54. 1st and 10, and Dunn loses a yard.
I really can't believe Washington gave up that many points. They're one of the better defensive teams on the coast.
In this game, Florida State picked off a pass early. It led to a field goal. Then they returned a fumble, 54 yards by Chevin Smith. Later, an 80-yard explosion by Warwick Dunn, 17-0 after 1. Switch ends. Miami scores on a touchdown pass. The first one the Seminoles yielded all year. They made it 17-6 after a botched extra point. 2nd and 12, and Busby left side. There's Warwick. Out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down. 3rd and about 6. Bentley, after a nice drive, kicked from 32 yards, 20-6. Miami with a touchdown. Clement, 5-yard toss to Green. A Dunn fumble led to a field goal, 20-16 at halftime. In the 3rd, Florida State's first possession led to a Preston touchdown. And Florida State will not get the first. Dunn stacked up by Starks. And it'll be 4th down from the 25. Miami could not afford to surrender anything more than 3 after the fumble.
They'll look back on that exchange problem they had on 3rd and a foot, and that'll haunt them for quite some time.
Bentley 2 for 2 today. Good from 48 and 32. This one 42 yards. You hate to say it, wide right. So Florida State comes up empty after the turnover. Miami football, early 4th. Yatil Green is back after missing most of the 3rd quarter, dehydrated. And Bentley, who was 8 out of 9 in his career playing at the Orange Bowl, misses today for the first time. They need Green back after a blockbuster first half where he had 148 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns.
Florida State had a hard time matching up against him. I look to Miami to get the ball to Green.
First down. Here they are, going for him right away. Long ball. And that almost came back into the arms of Green. Troy Saunders, already with an interception today, was looking for a second one.
Yatil Green has been open most of the day, but in this particular case, he's covered like a blanket by number 4, Troy Saunders, who almost gets the interception, and then Green almost gets the rebound.
And with Saunders down on the field after going for the pick, it would have been another 6 for Green. 2nd down and 10. On the counter, Ferguson exploding ahead. First down out to the 38-yard line. How about that defensive series for Miami that led to the missed field goal by Florida State?
Well, they did a great job keeping Florida State off the scoreboard. It cost them about 15 yards of field position. More importantly, it took 2 important minutes off the clock. Miami right now, the clock's the enemy for Miami. It's the ally for Florida State.
Ohio State has moved back in front, 17-14 over Wisconsin. First down. Ferguson cuts back to the middle and out to the 46. A nice glide that time. He's over 70 yards for the game on 23 attempts.
Daniel Ferguson is one of those guys that has the eyes. He doesn't always run to where the coaches say the hole is. Right there, he cuts all the way back against the fast flow defense of Florida State. That enables him to pick up that valuable yardage.
The 1 fumble, run back for a touchdown in the first quarter. 2nd and 4. To stay on the ground for a first down at midfield. So I got Florida State a little cross. They think they're going to throw it. And Ferguson now getting some room for the first time today.
It's good signal calling. And previously, when Ferguson popped that draw for 10 yards on 2nd and 10, Florida State thought they were going to throw it. They ran the draw on him.
.11:30 remaining in the game. Chambers and Green, the 2 receivers. Ryan Clement, who had a huge 2nd quarter, now going to the air. Has his target, 41-yard line. Yatil Green's first catch of the 2nd half.
87, Yatil Green.
You know that Ryan Clement loves having Yatil Green back on the field. The big physical receiver simply can get off the Florida State coverage. He pushes him deep, turns to the inside. The ball is well timed. Completion. But every quarterback pays a price against Florida State. Right here, he's getting roughed around. Ryan Clement.
Forward progress to the 41, a gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Clement got one-on-one coverage, right side, looking for magic. James Colsey on the coverage.
James Colsey, number 20, gets matched up against Magic Benton. Benton is the fastest one of the fastest wide receivers on this Miami squad, but the ball is just a little bit underthrown and thrown outside. Benton has got to leave himself more room to work on that sideline in order to make that a completion. He got too close to that sideline.
3rd and a yard. This is where they turned it over on the sneak to start the quarter. Same situation. Ferguson has it, slicing up the middle at the 35.
You gotta love, you're in the 4th quarter, you've got Miami, Florida State, and I can hear the pads all the way up here. They're popping away, both that defense of Florida State, that big offensive line of Miami, those fullbacks and linebackers are all going at it. I love it.
Ferguson finding the flow on this drive. He's got 30 yards rushing. They go back to him. Hard to bring down to the 32. Florida State with wins in the Orange Bowl Classic against Notre Dame this past January the 1st, and twice against Nebraska since they last beat Miami here in '84. And the first back-to-back wins they're seeking since '78-79.
And in talking to Bobby Bowden, he really didn't think the Orange Bowl necessarily was bad luck for him, but more just playing Miami in the Orange Bowl. That's how he kind of related it to me.
2nd down and 7. Clement over to Ferguson. Oh, breaks the tackle. And got back to the line of scrimmage. Vernon Crawford got to him first, and somehow Ferguson was able to wriggle his way out of it.
Danielle Ferguson is a complete back. He can run with the ball, catch, and also block. Right here, he just made several Florida State players miss him so he could fight that ball as far forward as possible. 3rd down has been the key so far today for the Hurricane offense. Time and time again, they've converted. 3rd and 7. 8.5 remaining. Not this time. Renard Wilson adding to, just adding to that total with his team's 5th sack of the day. Renard Wilson right there on the right of the screen, locked up against Blaze, Curlin Blaze, 79. Florida State's defense has been dominant because of Peter Boulware and Renard Wilson. They put the pressure on you. 4th down and ball spotted at the 39, and Miami's going for it with 7:48 remaining, clock running. 4th and 13. Boy, how critical that sack was. Put them in such a long yardage position. But I think Miami's got to go for this. Got to give their quarterback time. Clement dumps it short. That's not enough for the first, is it? No, he's short. That's Gerard Daphnis, and he was trying to lunge for it. James Colsey was holding on, and he's tackled at the 27. Florida State takes over on downs. You've got Daphnis at 260 pounds, the tight end, dragging across the middle, and James Colsey at 170 pounds trying to get him down, and sure enough he did. Florida State with the football and an 11-point lead halfway through the final quarter at the Orange Bowl. Miami has not scored in the second half. Clement, after a 200-yard first half throwing, has 56 yards so far in the second half, and Miami gives it up on downs. Came up about 2 yards shy of the necessary yardage, and Florida State 11 points in front, 7.5 remaining. Ron Dugan's in as a receiver. They're going to their main man, Warwick Dunn.
Good piece of running for about 8. And we have another update. Back in New York we go to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Jim, Ohio State goes to 5-0 on the season as Demetrius Stanley scores on a 48-yard TD pass from Joe Germain, Ohio State's backup quarterback. Stanley finished with 10 catches, 199 yards, 1 TD. A Jim Nantz kind of day. Ohio State wins.
Well, you have to say this, though, about the Buckeyes. It had to be a mental letdown kind of a day coming off of Penn State and Notre Dame the last 2. They were huge favorites against Wisconsin and survived today.
John Cooper's got to be excited. Going 5-0, may have the best team in the country.
2nd and 1. Miami was offside.
Done. Grab the football for the Seminoles.
You felt like before the game that Thad Busby was the key player for Florida State, but in many ways they haven't had to rely on him as much because of some of the big plays. How about his performance, Terry?
Well, I think that's correct. Because of the big plays, things have happened in the game that haven't made Busby carry the whole load. Warwick Dunn's 80-yard run is an example. The fumble by Miami that was scooped up for the touchdown. Those have taken the pressure off Busby, but he's thrown the ball hard and well today, and the big thing is he's avoided the interceptions. He hasn't made big mistakes with the football.
These 3 all lost at the Orange Bowl. Cannell, Charlie Ward, Brad Johnson back here in 90. 6:20 remaining. New set of downs. Dunn keeps getting good yardage on 1st down. And that was a run of 5. Warwick Dunn now with 145 rushing for the afternoon.
Boy, he stepped up today. He has really come forward in this football game. And remember, we talked during the telecast that the team that has controlled the ground game, they're the ones that have generally won this game, with only one exception.
Low rushing totals back in 92. Second and 5. Bursting ahead, and he's about a yard shy. It's Dunn again. Miami defense must come up with a stop right now. They're 2 scores behind with 5:15 remaining.
You know, there's been a lot of key plays in this game, but you go back to that 4th down Miami just had, and Colsey making that play against the big tight end Daphnis. There's none any bigger than that one.
Butch Davis encouraging his defensive unit. 1 play, he says. Get us the football back.
You got to get the ball back right here.
3rd and 1. It's done. And he has the first. Remember, Miami only has 2 timeouts. They had to burn 1 earlier when they had too many men on the field.
Right there. What a critical 1st down for Florida State. Florida State's been able to move the ball on the ground much better against this Miami defense than any of us anticipated. They've been able to run the ball. Coming into this game, the Florida State offense has been very much maligned. I think the reason, when you get a player like Warwick Dunn that can make those explosive runs for you, and probably that Florida State line has been a little underrated. They lost 11 offensive linemen from that team this year. I've never heard of a team losing 11 offensive linemen and play like they can play.
1st down, Busby in no hurry with 1 on the play clock. He takes the snap, gives it to Dunn for a short yardage. 5 straight carries for the Heisman candidate. You got to have his name in there with Danny Wuerffel, Orlando Pace, Troy Davis, and others. Peyton Manning. Well, Wuerffel today, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception.
That's just another day walking in the park for Danny Wuerffel.
What do you think right now?
Well, you know, Orlando Pace might be the best football player in America, but it's hard to win it when you play offensive line like he does. Generally, it goes to a guy like Wuerffel or Davis or Warwick Dunn, someone that touches the ball all the time.
This is Rock Preston breaking free. down to the 10-yard line. Earl Little saved the touchdown. Rock Preston with some huge minutes filling in for Warrick Dunn today. That was a 34-yard run.
If it isn't Warrick Dunn, it's Rock Preston. Backs make you miss or they break tackles. Right there, there's a broken tackle by Rock Preston, and he has all the speed and all the skill that a Warrick Dunn has. He'll be the starting tailback next year.
Preston out, Dunn back in. 3 minutes remaining. Ball at the 11. Dunn. Look at him fighting for the goal line. And another 9 to his total.
Right now, the Florida State offense is starting to rip this Miami defense. Miami knows that they're going to have a hard time winning this football game, and Florida State smells it right now. They want to get into that end zone and put to rest the myth that they can't beat Miami in the Orange Bowl.
It's our field, baby. It's our field, baby. We got 2 home fields. No Campbell State and Orange Bowl. We got 2 home fields now, baby. Every 2 years.
Troy Saunders says we have 2 home fields.
Kids are crazy. They love it. You know, they love this stuff.
2 minutes remaining. Busby. They could get the first without necessarily getting a touchdown. It was second and less than a yard. There's a flag down.
You know, Bobby Bowden said to me yesterday, Jim, when you and I talked with him, he said, you know, the measuring stick after the first half of the season is Miami. That's the measuring stick. Everyone measures us against Miami. We have to find out if we belong in the elite of the country at this point of the season. Then the second half of the season, they play that, and the measuring stick is Florida. Bobby Bowden has to beat Miami and Florida every year. That's why his job in the state of Florida is the toughest one between Miami, Florida, and Florida State.
Half a distance goal. Penalty will give them a first down.
No arguing with that, Terry. And Wyoming's about to assume the title of the school with the nation's longest win streak. First and goal, clock running, 1:45 remaining. Seminoles about to put away Miami. Busby over the top. Ball's free. Look out. Miami comes out of it, and they say touchdown. There's a signal for a touchdown. Busby broke the plane.
What?
Holy smokes.
What if he had not broken the plane? Look at Bobby Bowden. That Busby right here, he's got to just get the ball across the plane of the goal line. Right there, clearly he breaks the plane. Touchdown. Good call by the official.
The ball popped free off of a Miami helmet. Can you imagine?
You can laugh about it now.
The other way.
You can laugh about it now, but they wouldn't have been laughing had it been a little different.
He was a good foot across the plane, and Bickley's extra point gives Florida State the 34-16 lead. I think we actually have at least a month before we have to drop those in the mail.
Boy, I hope so. I don't want to vote today.
You get to vote for the first time.
First time ever. I'm excited about it.
Well, the last coach to beat Miami 2 games in a row before today. This will get Bowden 2 straight wins against Miami. But prior to that, Terry Donahue. 1985 Fiesta Bowl and the season opener last year, 31-8.
We didn't want to play him very often in between, did we? Why would you?
Nick Williams fielding the kick, and just 1:19 remaining. about Miami's possessions in the fourth quarter when they got this wind at their back. They had the one play to start the fourth quarter where they fumbled it on 3rd and 1, and then just one other series before now.
You wonder about that fumble. Had they not fumbled and been able to maintain that drive, 3rd down and a foot, and they fumbled the ball.
Another Seminole sack. 3 of them will share it.
This is when it's at its toughest, when you're playing Florida State and they know you're in pass situation. It doesn't ever get any harder than that on an offensive line because they just put their ears back and keep coming.
Clement and Miami in no hurry now, resigning themselves to the fact that the Orange Bowl advantage over Florida State about to come to an end. Magic Benton trying to get to the sideline to stop the clock, unable to do it. And a timeout called by Miami. Timeout called by the Hurricanes. Bobby Bowden 25 seconds away from probably the second most satisfying celebration at the Orange Bowl, only beaten by his national championship win. Florida State just wore Miami down in the second half, outscoring the Hurricanes 14-0 after halftime.
Wow. Bobby Bowden, do you think he's excited about this win? All those heartbreaking losses. I know the pain of those losses. This guy is as excited probably as he's ever been.
He just ran down to the Florida State fan area and tossed his hat up into the stands.
He'll be fighting for that thing up in there now.
Ferguson on a draw play on 3rd down. And Miami will get another snap. Remember, the winner of this game has gone on to win the national championship 5 times in the last 13 years. Does that mean it's a great omen for this Florida State team? How about ending it with an exclamation point, a sack of the quarterback? In fact, Clement may have been hurt. Clement was hurt on the sack. Bobby Bowden looks over. Clement now up on his feet. He appears to be fine. Auburn and Florida next Saturday here on CBS. For Michelle Tafoya, Terry Donahue, Jim Nance saying so long from the Orange Bowl in Miami.